Everyone's telling you to start your weight loss journey fresh in January and just get through the holidays, but starting now actually gives you a massive advantage. Today, I'm going to share what waiting till January really costs you and how to lose weight during the busiest and most food-filled season of the year. Welcome to the Fit and Fulfilled Show. If you're a busy professional woman who wants to finally prioritize your health and happiness, this is the place to be. I'm your host, Soraya Russell, certified macronutrition coach, mindset coach, and lifestyle transformation coach. And each week, I share practical strategies to help you build sustainable habits, boost your energy, become obsessed with what you see when you look in the mirror, and feel confident and strong in your body, all without feeling stressed, guilty, or overwhelmed. Let's dive in. So, to be completely honest with you, after working with over 400 women, I find the clients we work with around this time have the easiest time maintaining the results long term because they got help learning how to stay consistent during the holidays. And when you can stay consistent during the holidays, everything else is easy. Summer is easy, busy season at work is easy. When you have a lot going on with family, it's easy because you know how to navigate all these food-filled events. Think about it this way. Runners who run and train during the peak of summer when it's really, really hot have an easy time running in the spring and the fall and all year round because they're able to do it during the hardest time of the year. So I know that you might want to put off weight loss until things are easier, things are slower, but that's a recipe for disaster because you're only going to know how to maintain it when things are easy and slow, which is probably not the majority of your life. So let's talk about what you're actually losing by waiting till January. The first is you're losing confidence and momentum. So what happens is when people wait till January to start, it typically means during the holidays they're eating a lot, they're just kind of sitting around enjoying the holidays, which is great. But that means when January comes, you're more lazy, more bloated, you're less likely to want to get up and start creating a routine because you have all that sluggishness that's been created from sitting around during the holidays. Not to mention, most women gain 5 to 10 pounds between Thanksgiving and New Year's, which means you're actually not starting from zero in January. You're starting from negative. So say that your goal was to lose 20 pounds total and you end up gaining 5 pounds in December. Now you got to lose 25 pounds. You have no momentum. You have no plan in place. You're not feeling very motivated coming off of the holidays because you've just been eating all this food. It's going to take extra work and time to lose that extra 5 pounds on top of the 20 that you wanted to lose originally. I like to explain it with some simple math, right? If you start in December and you just lose 1 pound per week, you could lose 4 to 5 pounds before the end of the year. If you wait and you do nothing, you could gain 5 to 10 pounds before the end of the year. So that's a 9 to 15 pound difference between now and January based on whether you start now or you wait. Waiting till January does not keep you at zero. It actually puts you in a hole. And there's also a psychological cost to this because when you're waiting till a certain date to start anything, whether it's a weight loss journey or any type of journey you want to start, you're basically mentally reinforcing that you're someone who has to wait till XYZ date. Wait till a new month, a new week to start fresh. And that is not the mindset of someone who creates consistent habits because you're not someone who's proactive, you're reactive. And so when you're constantly saying, I'm going to wait till this date to start XYZ, you're reinforcing in your brain you're someone who has to wait till a certain arbitrary date to start something that's important to you. And you want to break that thought process if you want to be successful long term. It's also easier to maintain momentum than to create it from scratch. So women who start making even small, slight sustainable changes now are going to have that momentum going into January. So it'll be easier to continue those habits, right? Whereas if you start fresh in January, you are starting from scratch, starting from zero. You have to take time to build the habits and then go into maintenance. So it's just going to take longer for you to essentially get into a groove. So all that being said, here is why I believe the holidays are actually the best time to start a weight loss journey. The first reason is you learn the hardest skills first. I always say if you can navigate Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, holiday parties, and still stay on track with your goals, you can literally navigate anything. Like you will create unshakable confidence by being able to do that and still stay on track with your eating habits. And I have so many clients that are a testament to this. Like last year, we had a client who started working with us around December 1st, and she was nervous about starting around that time, but she was like, I have to do something now because I don't want to walk into Christmas dinner doing the same habits I've been doing, being heavier than I was last year, worrying about judgment, worrying about comments. So she was like, I just need to start now. And so obviously we helped her create a plan with nutrition and fitness. We also taught her how to adjust that plan for December because she was going to be traveling more, around family more. She wasn't going to have access to a consistent gym. And so she actually lost 6 pounds in December. And she recomped her body. So when she went to Christmas dinner, people noticed that she had lost weight. 6 pounds when you are losing fat and building muscle makes a big difference. So she got a lot of great comments about her body, which I don't like people making comments about people's bodies, but it felt good to her because people saw her hard work. She was able to enjoy Christmas dinner without overindulging. People were actually asking her, like, oh, like, what's on your plate? What's your strategy? Because you look so great. And then going into January, she lost 5 more pounds. February, she lost 6 pounds. So she lost a total of 17 pounds during the holidays. And I actually spoke with her a couple months ago. She's lost an additional 10 pounds since graduating from our program and has been able to maintain it through the summertime, through work travel, through family events, feels confident in her body. Matter of fact, this summer, she actually bought new swimsuits because obviously she couldn't fit her old ones and she wanted to wear something where she could show off her body because she just feels so confident. So I say that to say, I know during the holidays, the last thing you're probably thinking about is starting a weight loss journey, but when you start now and build that momentum and those habits and those skills, that translates and you're able to stay consistent all throughout every season of the year. And it'll set you up to make sure that next summer you feel confident and sexy in your favorite outfits. The second reason now is a great time to start is because you're not going to fight against the new year and new you pressure. During January, there's so many ads and just people talking about starting their weight loss journey fresh. It can be very overwhelming. It's motivating, but it's also intimidating because you feel the pressure to have to start in January, the pressure to have to go hard, even though that's not sustainable long term. Not to mention, if you're going to go to a gym, it's very crowded. There's a lot of people there. And a crowded gym is not bad, but if it's crowded and you're new to the gym, it's very discouraging. So if you start in January or start in December, you're already familiar with the gym. And so when people start crowding it in January, it's not intimidating because you have a routine and you know where all of your machines are. Another reason starting during the holidays is a good idea is because you have accountability when you need it most. So if you're starting some sort of program during the spring when things are not that busy, you could probably follow a plan without needing a lot of accountability because maybe you're not, busy. But during the holidays, you might need a little bit more hand holding to create those new habits, especially during the holidays when you're not used to being consistent. And so you have that accountability when you need it the most, when things are a little bit more unpredictable, when you're traveling, when a lot's going on, when you have holiday meals. Because my philosophy is you should have accountability in place to help you become self-sufficient. Accountability to me is not to be relying on someone forever. It's to have someone there to answer questions and support you and help you build those skills so that one day you can become self-sufficient and be your own accountability partner. So when you have that during the holidays, you have that help. And that way going into January and February, you then become your own accountability partner and are essentially self-sufficient. The fourth reason I recommend starting now is because mentally it proves to yourself that you really are serious about your health and weight loss journey. When you start in January, you're like everybody else. It's not serious because everyone starts fresh in the new year, let's be honest. But when you start in December, you're basically telling yourself mentally, I'm not waiting. I'm ready to commit to this now and I'm serious about it. And having that type of mindset allows you to become consistent even when you're not feeling motivated or you're not wanting to do something. Mentally, you're becoming the woman who says, I'm going to start now. I'm going to prioritize this now. And I'm not waiting for some arbitrary date to start my weight loss journey. So here's the December weight loss strategy I recommend applying. The first thing is to change the way you see December. So instead of saying, I just want to get through the holidays. You want to say things like, okay, I have 4 weeks to start building small, sustainable habits. Every day becomes like a training session. So if your goal is, okay, I want to start walking every day in December, right? Every day is you training for that goal. That could be starting by walking 2,000 steps a day, then 3,000, then 4,000, then working your way up to it. So instead of focusing on just getting through the holidays and not going crazy with food, focus on creating those small, sustainable changes so that when you get into January, you've already built that foundation. The second thing you want to do is set process goals, not outcome goals, because when you set outcome goals, it leads to disappointment. I'm big on expectation management. So if you're someone who's like, I just want to get healthy and lose some weight, and you end up losing 10 pounds, you're pleasantly surprised because you didn't set a number. You just set a goal to get healthier and lose weight. But if you say, I need to lose 20 pounds by the end of December, and you lose 10, simply because you set a higher goal, you're disappointed, right? So your expectations really dictate your results. If your expectations are, I'm just going to stick to process goals, so like getting these things done versus weight based goals, if you stick to the processes and you lose weight, it's like a bonus or a cherry on top versus you feeling disappointed if you had this big weight loss number that you didn't hit. So, process goals are things like hitting 7,000 steps a day, drinking a certain amount of water per day, having 20, 30 grams of protein per meal, exercising 3 to 4 times per week. Focus on those instead because it's something you can measure. It's something that you can say, I did it or I did not. It's very simple to track. And then those things lead to the outcome goals that you really want without you hyper fixating or obsessing over them. The third thing you want to do is the holiday integration method, which is basically just adjusting your habits based on the holiday season. So instead of avoiding holiday parties, which is no fun, we want to enjoy the holidays, right? You just want to have some, you could call them rules or expectations for yourself. So, for example, some things you could deploy are number one, having a protein rich snack about 2 hours before going to a party. This ensures you're hitting your protein goals, and when you get there, you're not so hungry and ravenous that you eat everything in your path. You make more informed decisions. This could also be drinking a certain amount of water before going to a social event. It could also be saying, okay, when I go to the social event, I'm going to have no more than 2 drinks. I'm going to follow the plate rule, which is half your plate being veggies or fruits, a fourth being a protein, and fourth being carbs. After each event or holiday celebration, the next day you're getting right back to your normal habits. You're not waiting 3 days to get back to normal eating habits and exercise habits. So things like this allow you to still enjoy the holidays, but kind of have rules in place to enjoy it without derailing your weight loss and health goals. The fourth strategy is getting help during December to start creating that momentum to go into January. And that way you're actually going in the positive direction, right? You're losing weight, creating healthy habits. So in January, it's just maintaining you're on autopilot and cruise mode versus starting from scratch. It also means during this busy time of the year, you have someone there to support you. And you can say, like, if you join our coaching program, you can get on a call and say, hey, I have a Christmas party next week or next weekend with my coworkers, and I'd like some advice on how to handle it, right? And we can help you work through, okay, how to follow the plate rule. What's going to be our plan beforehand? How are we going to handle people who try to push food on us when we're not hungry? How are we going to handle setting boundaries? So you have real-time support during the season to create those new habits so they become second nature as you go into January and holiday seasons in the future. So if you wait till January 1st, you are probably going to gain between 5 to 10 pounds during the holidays simply because you're eating more food from holiday events. You're also going to start January 1st feeling very overwhelmed, sluggish, defeated, not really motivated because of the consistent eating and lack of exercise during December. You're going to have to compete in crowded gyms for machines and try to learn how to navigate the gym with all those people there. And you're also going to really lack motivation because you just felt so sluggish after eating all that food during December. And you're going to go into another year of the mentality that I'm going to start in January, or I'm going to start on Monday, or I'm going to start during the new month versus I'm going to start now. Versus if you start in December, you're going to create unshakable confidence because you are starting during the time of the year that most people feel like they can't stay consistent. And when you do that and you are able to stay consistent during that time of the year, that builds confidence because you realize this is something I can do. I'm someone who can do hard things. You also learn how to navigate parties and food and all these dinners and celebrations without guilt, with the support that you need to change your approach during those times. By January, you're already down 4 to 8 pounds versus everyone else who's been gaining weight during the holidays, and that built a lot of momentum and excitement going into January versus resentment. So here are some common mistakes to avoid when starting your weight loss journey in December. The first is thinking you have to be perfect. This is a holiday season. You're not going to work out 4 days a week at the gym, meal prep every single day, not eat out on the weekends. That's just not sustainable in the holidays or really at any point in life. So instead, you want to plan for the holidays. Have a set holiday plan. If you know you're traveling the week of Christmas, then say, okay, I'm going to walk 10,000 steps every day if I can't go to the gym. Maybe I'll bring my family alongside me. I will eat my grandma's or my aunt's or mom's home cooking and I'll follow the plate rule. I'm not going to get upset or just fall off the wagon because I'm not making my own food. The second mistake is using after the holidays as a procrastination mechanism. So meaning you're like, okay, well, I'm going to start after this, right? And this is something I see a lot of women do. They're always waiting for something to motivate them. Well, my birthday's coming up, so now I'm going to start. I have a vacation coming up, so now I'm going to start. It's January, so now I'm going to start. This is a procrastination mindset that's masked as I'm just waiting because this time makes more sense. Women who achieve and maintain their weight loss goals don't have to wait for a reason. There doesn't need to be a reason. The reason is I want to feel good in my body now, and I'm someone who honors commitments to myself. And I'm making a commitment to create healthy lifestyle changes that last regardless if it's my birthday or a holiday or a vacation. The third mistake is trying to go at it alone. I say this all the time. It doesn't matter how successful you are in other areas. We all need support and guidance and help. You might be very successful in your career. I'm sure you are. And it's probably because you're very smart, intelligent, you apply yourself, but you also probably had mentors, people who have helped guide you, someone who kind of helped you get your first job out of college, someone who you work with who really saw a lot of potential in you and helped you get that promotion. And without those people who believe in us, who support us, we wouldn't be where we are today. I don't believe that we can get where we want to be on talent alone. We need support, we need help, we need further education. And so when you think that you can do things alone, I admire that because I'm someone who's very confident in myself as well. But I also think that if you want to go far and really achieve the most you can achieve in life, especially when it comes to your health and weight, it's going to be much more time efficient to get help. Because yes, you can lose weight on your own, you can figure it out, but how long will that take you? If you're listening to this episode, you've probably been struggling with your weight for months, if not years. When you get help, you collapse that time into a few months versus another 5 years of being self-conscious in your body, going from diet to diet. So it's just best to get help from someone who can help you from a well-rounded point of view with mindset, nutrition, fitness, holiday navigation, all that stuff. Mistake number 4 is waiting because everyone else is starting in January. It can feel isolating starting in December because most people around you are starting in January. They're not even talking about weight loss or healthy habits. They're just like enjoying the holiday time. So it can feel isolating, which is also why I recommend getting help because you have people or someone you can talk to who is doing the same things as you during that time. And just because everyone else is doing something doesn't make it a smart choice. I like to be different in most things that I do because most people are not really happy with their lives. Most people are not in, like, don't love their body. Most people are not super healthy. So if that's the case, you don't want to be like or listen to most people. You want to listen to and be like the people in top 5%, top 10%. And those are typically people that are starting now or who already have consistent habits. So it's okay if other people around you are starting in January. You don't have to be like them. Because at the end of the day, the only person's opinion of you that really matters is yourself. And you're going to have more self-esteem and more confidence in yourself by starting now versus waiting to do what everyone else is doing. Remember that the best time to start was yesterday, and the second best time to start is today. So take the strategies that I gave you and start applying them to start seeing results in December and use that momentum to build into January. So thank you so much for tuning into the Fit and Fulfilled show today. I hope you walked away with practical strategies that you can start implementing to feel more confident, energized, and fulfilled in your personal and professional life. And if you found this episode helpful in absolutely any way, I ask that you please subscribe and share it with a friend that you think would find it helpful so they can discover these strategies as well and start thriving in their personal and professional lives. And if you would like to lose 20 to 50 pounds without cutting out your favorite foods, I definitely recommend applying for our coaching program, the Fit and Fulfilled Academy. In the Academy, we help busy professional women like you by providing the support, guidance, and coaching you need with nutrition, fitness, and mindset to achieve lasting weight loss even during the holidays. And you can get all the details down below. Next week, we're diving into a brand new topic that you're not going to want to miss. But until then, remember you deserve to feel as confident in your body as you do in your career. Take care.